You're watching 11 Alive Morning News. 11 minutes of nonstop news starts now.
We're kicking off your 11 minutes of nonstop news with a check of your weather and traffic.
Chelsea, we are starting the weekend off just right.
Oh yeah, even though it's a bit of a cool start, we will warm up nicely as we head into the afternoon. Take a look. Temperatures are down into the 40s in a lot of spots, like Peachtree City at 48, 46 in Carrollton. Rome, you're at 49, 57 the warm spot in Atlanta, but we'll drop down to the middle to low 50s before rising back up as we head through the afternoon. In fact, 78 degrees will be our temperature by noon, and that's where we should be for a high this time of year. We're going warmer. 83 degrees will be your afternoon high temperature today, well above the average, but don't get used to it. Changes come as we head toward the weekend. More on that coming up.
Back in court later today as he fights to clear his name. The Supreme Court recently overturned his murder conviction after he was accused of killing his wife.
Yeah, he wants a judge to release him from jail as he awaits a new trial. Jerry Carnes explains what's at stake.
Tex McIver's attorneys will be here at the Fulton County Courthouse later today to argue that the 80-year-old should be allowed to await a second murder trial while out of jail on bond. The Supreme Court overturned McIver's murder conviction, ruling that the jury should have been allowed to consider a charge of manslaughter. The Supreme Court did not clear McIver on a charge of influencing a witness. McIver contends he was asleep and the gun in his lap fired, accidentally killing his wife as they rode together in an SUV. McIver was allowed to await his first murder trial while out of jail on bond for a while, but he violated the conditions of that bond and was eventually sent back behind bars.
Jerry, thank you. Sticking with your 11 minutes of nonstop news, here's what's happening now.
The Fulton County District Attorney's Office wants to delay a trial for rappers Young Thug, Gunna, and several others facing RICO charges. A newly filed motion in Fulton County by the DA's office says some of the defendants they still don't have lawyers. The motion also notes that the defense team still has to go through nearly 3 terabytes of data to prepare for this case. As of right now, the trial is scheduled to start January 9th. Attorneys are hoping to postpone it until March 27th.
Police say they finally made an arrest in connection to the killing of a 17-year-old barber who was gunned down outside his own business back in April. Authorities say Jamani Watkins Causey was arrested in Florida on Thursday. Police say he's accused of shooting and killing Anthony McLean. Police are also looking for at least 6 more people tied to that deadly shooting.
Sources say Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis wants to hand out indictments as early as December. This is tied to the 2020 election interference probe involving former President Trump and some of his allies. The probe started with a call Trump made back in 2021 to Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger asking him to find votes to win Georgia.
Plus, the beloved New Jersey-based gas station chain Wawa is coming to Georgia. A spokesperson says the first Wawa in the Peach State will be somewhere in the southern or coastal Georgia region. We are told the store plans to build up to 20 locations by 2024. 11 minutes of nonstop news continues with updates in a high school football star's death. Elijah DeWitt was gunned down outside Sugarloaf Mills Mall. Molly Oak has the details on the suspect now in custody in a different state.
The suspect was taken into custody in Anderson County, South Carolina, more than 100 miles from Atlanta. Take a look at your screen. This is the picture of the suspect, 19-year-old Chandler Richardson. His arrest comes after 18-year-old Elijah DeWitt was found dead Wednesday night in the parking lot outside Dave & Buster's at the Sugarloaf Mills Mall in Lawrenceville. The Jefferson High School seniors football coach says Elijah loved the game just as much as he loved the people he was playing with. We also spoke with his mom, who says it's still hard to wrap her head around why her son is gone, saying he was the kindest soul.
He was so full of life and love, and he was courageous. It really was just a privilege to be a part of the journey, and I really wished I could have it back.
Elijah's mom says her son was determined to play D1 football. He was even set to visit Georgia this weekend. Back to you.
And we have more from Elijah's family and coaches. See how they're remembering him right now over on 11alive.com.
Starting today, travelers coming to the U.S. from Uganda will be screened for Ebola at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. 4 other airports across the country will also screen travelers coming to the U.S., and this is for passengers who visited Uganda within 3 weeks. The U.S. Embassy stresses there are 0 Ebola cases in the U.S. right now. The screenings are a precaution. Officials say the risk of getting the virus in the U.S. is low. However, there are currently 63 confirmed or probable cases in Uganda itself. It's a rare disease, but there are no known cures. And this morning, the state is sending out a new warning about its $350 assistance payments. The Department of Health and Human Services says watch out for phishing schemes. They say scammers are trying to steal your personal information with fake emails, texts, and social media posts. You should never give out your social security number or other personal information tied to the payments. If you have lost money or believe you may have already fallen victim, call police and then report it to DHS. And we have more information on how to protect yourself on 11alive.com.
A multi-million-dollar investment is on the way to help with early childhood development in Atlanta. Today, Mayor Andre Dickens is expected to announce the move along with Atlanta Public Schools and its partners. That money is going to help further the administration's $20 million goal for the city's first ever direct investment in early childhood education.
And after a red hot spring and summer, the housing market is cooling off. Next on today's Zillow's chief economist explains what buyers and sellers need to know heading into the winter.
Going out this afternoon, well, it's going to be a nice lunch. You're looking at 78 degrees, right where we should be for this time of year for a high temperature. We'll hit that around noon, and we'll start to notice a few high thin clouds moving into the area. By 3 o'clock, we're looking at 82. That'll be our afternoon high temperature for today. It's going to be a warm one out there. Our winds will start to pick up as well as that front pushes into the area out in the northwest, about 10 miles per hour. 6 o'clock, heading home, getting ready for the weekend. Looking at temperatures right around 80 degrees. Again, we'll have partly to mostly sunny skies by then.
Atlanta Pride Weekend is back. You can celebrate the LGBTQ plus community with a whole host of events throughout the weekend. Crash, I think you said it's 20 events?
20 events.
Leading up to the big Pride Parade Sunday at noon. This is the first time in years that Pride is back in person, and you don't want to miss our Voices for Equality special. Living Out Loud, it shows how the LGBTQ plus community overcame adversity to stand in their truths. That airs Sunday at 11 a.m. right here on 11 Alive.
All right, it's going to be a busy weekend.
Yeah, and the perfect weather for it, Chesley.
Yeah, enjoy it, man. Plenty of sunshine around and cooler temperatures, cooler than today.
All right, make sure you enjoy it safely, everybody, and responsibly. Thanks for spending your Friday with us. Have a great weekend.